Look upon the Lord of Avernus, and beware.
Hello, and welcome. Today we will be discussing one of my favorite heroes, Abaddon, the creature of the mist and the Lord of Avernus. Abaddon's lore is quite fascinating, and it was truly a pleasure to learn about this hero. This video is the first of a two-part series. In part 1, we will be going over Abaddon's official lore and looking at possible inspirations Valve used to develop this hero. In part 2, we will discuss multiple theories about Abaddon and try to make real connections within the DOTA universe. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. So, without further ado, let's continue on to Abaddon's lore.
The fog of war is no match for the mist of fate.
Let's talk about Abaddon's name. The Hebrew term Abaddon means the doom or the father of lowly being, and its Greek equivalent Apollyon appears in the Bible as both a place of destruction and an angel of the abyss. In the Hebrew Bible, Abaddon is used with reference to a bottomless pit, often appearing alongside the place Sheol, meaning the realm of the dead. In Revelation 9:11, Abaddon is described as Destroyer, the Angel of the Abyss, and as the king of a plague of locusts resembling horses with crowned human faces, women's hair, lion's teeth, wings, iron breastplates, and a tail with a scorpion's tail. The symbolism of Revelation 9:11 leaves the identity of Abaddon open to interpretation. Protestant commentator Matthew Henry believed Abaddon to be the Antichrist. Latter-day Saints believe that the use of Abaddon in Revelation 9 refers to the devil. Okay, so let's cover some important topics that you should know in order to fully understand Abaddon's lore. First up, we have the Avernus. Frequently spoken in Abaddon's lore. The word Avernus was first used as an ancient name for a volcanic crater that was claimed to be the entrance to the underworld. This crater is a real location and can be found in Italy. Within this crater, you will find Lake Avernus. According to tradition, birds flying over the lake would fall dead due to toxic fumes emitted from the surface. Surely these toxic fumes are the direct inspiration for the frequently referenced Mist of Avernus in Abaddon's lore. Avernus is also referenced in a few other fantasy titles, such as Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, Dungeons and Dragons, and Neverwinter.
That phoenix flew too close to the mist.
Abaddon has a voice line when he kills Phoenix, that Phoenix flew too close to the mist. I think we can assume that this is referring to the lore of the birds falling dead because of the mist emitted from Lake Avernus. The Font of Avernus. The term font is referring to a receptacle in a church for the water used in baptisms, typically a freestanding stone structure. So what is the Font of Avernus? The Font of Avernus or Avernal Font is a source of mystical vapors that grants powers to its guardians, the House Avernus. It flows from a crack in the primal stones and breathed in by members of the house. The vapors resemble a black mist that absorbs light and imbues strange powers over life and death. The black mist itself may be sentient, although its motives are unclear. It chooses mortals to defend it, allowing them to forge weapons in the mist. The mist is also capable of conjuring up creatures for its defenders, such as Netherax, Abaddon's mount. With new lore, Abaddon speaks rumors of a second source of the mist, and we go into more details about this and other possible connections in our Part 2 video. House Avernus is a noble family. They are protectors of their land and traditions, the most important of which is the mystic Font of Avernus. Upon birth, the scions of the house are bathed in the black mists of the font, granting them an innate connection to the mystic energies of the land. Their education emphasizes military training, so that they can lead the family's army to defend their ancestral lands. A priest class oversees matters relating to the font. The House of Avernus places curses on its foes, slowing their movement and hastening their pursuers. Sometimes House Avernus rides out on correction raids against those who have wronged the font. The current Lord of House Avernus is Abaddon, whose profound connection with the font gave him powers beyond any previous lord, including over life and death itself. The Three Blades. House Avernus possessed 3 legendary blades. As of right now only the second is known. And that blade is Mistbreaker. The Darkstar the Mist-forged blade may be another, although it is not specifically stated. Let's continue. Let me read you Abaddon's official lore description provided by Valve. Here we go. The Font of Avernus is the source of a family's strength, a crack in primal stones from which vapors of prophetic power have issued for generations. Each newborn of the cavernous House Avernus is bathed in the black mist, and by this baptism, they are given an innate connection to the mystic energies of the land. They grow up believing themselves fierce protectors of their lineal traditions, the customs of the realm, but what they really are protecting is the font itself. And the motives of the mist are unclear. When the infant Abaddon was bathed in the font, they say something went awry. In the child's eyes there flared a light of comprehension that startled all present and set the sacerdotes to whispering. He was raised with every expectation of following the path all scions of Avernus took to train in war, that in times of need, he might lead the family's army in defense of the ancestral lands. But Abaddon was always one apart. Where others trained with weapons, he bent himself to meditation in the presence of the mist. He drank deep from the vapors that welled from the font, learning to blend his spirit with the potency that flowed from far beneath the house. He became a creature of the black mist.
You have called death upon yourself.
There was bitterness within the House Avernus elders and young alike, accusing him of neglecting his responsibilities. But all such accusations stopped when Abaddon rode into battle, and they saw how the powers of the mist had given him mastery over life and death, beyond those of any lord the house had ever known. This concludes Valve's official lore description.
Come, friend, let us fill their souls with terror.
Do you remember the quote, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend"? Well, both Abaddon and Terrorblade have reason to hold a grudge between demons in the Dota universe. Yes, Terrorblade is a demon. But he stole from the demon lords and was incarcerated in Foul Fell, a hidden dimension where demonkind imprison their own. But Foul Fell is no normal prison. In this dark mirror of reality, demons are sentenced to gaze eternally into the twisted reflection of their souls. Terrorblade was able to escape Foul Fell, and ever since he has held resentment for his incarceration. So why do demons hate Abaddon? Lore states that those attuned to the font's energies can also see fortunes and fates in the mist, revealing secrets of lordship, war-making, and dominance. For this reason, the powers of the font are hated even by the immortal demons of hell. Okay, so here are a few of Abaddon's potential allies. There is no official proof of an alliance between these heroes, but there is strong evidence. I will not speculate on the connections now. But in part 2 of Abaddon's series, I go over all of these heroes and analyze the evidence provided to speculate on future allies of Abaddon.
Assassination is inevitable. Nix.
Nyx Assassin. Nyx is Abaddon's most notable enemy. First, in order to understand this rivalry, we need to uncover some lore. Nyx Assassin is just one of many assassins controlled telepathically from the original Queen Nyx. Nyx is the queen of the Zealot Scarabs, worshipped by her race as a goddess. Like other Zealot Scarabs, she is telepathic, even more so than her lesser kin. She resides in a special chamber, possibly within the Hidden Hive.
Nyx bestows her grace.
As queen, Nyx secretes a special substance that causes young grubs to metamorphose into unique morphologies. With this substance, she selects a single grub and triggers a transformation that causes the grub to develop into a Nyx assassin. She then sends these assassins out in the world to do her bidding.
I despised you since the birth of my whole entire caste.
Nyx vs. Abaddon. Nyx appears to have a hatred for Abaddon and has sent out emissaries in the past to attack him. The reason for this rivalry is unknown, but we speculate on this more in part 2 of the series.
Another emissary of Nyx. Crushed.
We can assume that Abaddon has foiled these attempts on his life and killed his would-be assassins. Obviously, this is going to add fuel to the rivalry between the two. It is also rumored that Abaddon's helm was made from one of the slain assassins' heads.
I will see you in the shadow of Avernus.
Okay guys, so this concludes part 1 of our Abaddon series. I hope you liked this video and please let me know what you think of it in the comments below. But before I go, I want to share with you an amazing lore-based short story that is seasoned with an author's fantasy that I highly recommend reading. Let me read you a passage from this story. Raising his weapon, the Lord of Avernus surrounded himself with a rotating sphere of armor, consisting of dark mist, and galloped into the crowd of the enemies, where no one even scratched him. Striking foes right and left, Abaddon was like a dark fog, the wisdom of which he comprehended daily in meditation. His eyes shone with blue light, like his mount, faithful and fast. After some time, the sphere of armor suddenly exploded, returning all the damage inflicted by the enemies in return. The author is Albina Krugliak. I will leave a link in the description if you would like to read the entire story.